Okay, well, welcome everybody. This is again my attempt at making videos. This is limiting. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to learn about just about like what makes reactions limited and what makes them in excess. We're going to do the best we can. So what you need to do is get these notes from this note sheet from your sub, and then what you're going to do is you're going to fill these out, and then there'll be some problems associated with this. Okay, so that is the plan, my peoples. Let's do this. So this is actually review. So a lot of stoichiometry is just a bunch of mass or how much problems. And so in this problem, what you're going to do, let's see if this works, is you're going to determine how much carbon dioxide right there when 100 grams of CH4 react with excess oxygen. Excess just means you have extra, so it doesn't really matter. So in this one, we're going to go from methane right here to carbon dioxide. And so when you do this, you always start with your given. So 100 grams of CH4. And then since it's in grams, you can't really do grams. You have to do moles. So you're going to get into moles by finding the molar mass of CH4. So you look out your periodic table and you find out that C is 12, H is 1, but there's 4 of them. So there's 16 grams and 1 mole of CH4. Okay, so this is always the first step, is always get into moles. And then when you're here, next step is always to do moles to moles. So you can see that on over here with the methane, there's a ratio of 1 to 1. So you're going to write 1 mole of CH4 and then 1 mole of CO2. Okay, so that will get canceled out. And then since they ask for mass, you're going to do one more step. You're going to put in the molar mass for CO2. So that's this guy right here. So it would be C, which is 12, and 16 times 2 is 32. So we're looking at 44 grams. Okay, so really what you're going to do is you're going to take 100 times 44 divided by 16. So you take the entire top divided by the entire bottom. And you guys, this is just easy math. I'm not going to make you do that, but I'm going to make you do that, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, so clear screen. Let's see if it. Okay, it's still on. I'm going to turn that off. Okay, back. Okay. All right. So ready? Here we go. Let's try the next one. Advance. All right. So today we are going to look at limiting factors. And a limiting factor is like something's going to run out. And when something runs out, the reaction is just going to stop. So I always use the Sally doll as an example. So for example, if the heads are made in USA and the bodies are made, these little bodies are made in Mexico, and then the legs, these are made in Uganda. I'm just coming up with random names. And then this one's made in North Korea. All right, the hair. All right, so these are fun places. All right. So, anyways, what we're going to find is that we're going to run out of something, right? We have plenty of hair and plenty of legs, but we only have 3. US and Mexico only limited us to 3 heads and 3 bodies. So the max we can make is 3. All right. So when we are doing this, the limiting factor, well, this is the factor that runs out. And when it runs out, the reaction stops. So RxN is reaction, it stops. So when that occurs, nothing happens and the reaction is done. So just as before, you run out of bodies and heads, same it is with this one. And excess just means you have too much or extra. And if you have excess of something, that means that it's just going to sit there. All right. So if I have excess, if I go back to my, let me clear a screen, go back, see if I can go back here. Well, I can, but I have extra hair, extra legs, right? So some things that limit us. So this is funny. So start thinking deep thoughts, but like we're all limited by our time, right? So you only have so much time, and we're all limited by money. Most of us, unless you're Elon Musk or someone crazy rich, right? And we're all limited by maybe just like circumstances, but we all have excess things in our lives. So we often have excess stress or excess pain or excess worry or any of those things. And so limiting factors, this is kind of where it really hits home for me because it just makes a lot of sense. Okay, so here's an example. This is often done in in recipes. So if I want to make 24 cookies, so 2 eggs, 2 eggs, 1 cup of butter or 1 cup of milk, cookie mix, 3 tablespoons of butter, I make 24 cookies. All right, so you think of it like that. Um, But if I have 4 eggs, man, I could make, look, I could make 20, I could make 48 cookies because, I have twice as much. And I have enough for 48 there. See, I have 2 cups of milk and then 2 cup cookie mixes. But you can see I'm limited by my butter. I don't have enough butter. Oops. So that is my limiting factor. And actually, since I have half as much butter, I can't even make 24. I can only make 12 because the ratio stays true. Okay, think of it this way. So if you have 5 hot dogs, right, and only 4 buns, you can only make 4 total hot dogs. You have an excess of hot dogs. Okay. So that is the essence of what limiting factors are. Now, when you do this, they're typically going to be like, this is the math part of things. So what's going to happen is they're going to have two things here. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to both of these and figure out which one makes the least. The one that makes the least is limited, and that is the correct answer. So we're going to do 7.4 moles. And this is just a mole problem. So this is an easy way of doing this. Does everybody see it's a 1-to-2 ratio? So we're going to do 1 mole of N2 and 2 moles of NH3. So look, theoretically, I could make 14.8 moles. Okay, if I have this much, and then I'm going to do the same for this one. So we're gonna do 2 problems at once, and this kind of teaches me how to do it. So I'm going to put a 3 here. Do you see where the 3 comes from right here? 3 moles and then 2 moles up here. And so what I would get is 16. So 8 times 2 is 16 divided by 3. It's like, I think it's like 5.33. Check my math. I might be dumb. I'm on painkillers. Okay, so this is the amount that occurs, right? We don't have enough to make this, so this doesn't happen. This is my answer, and my limiting factor. This is my limiting factor. So H2 is limiting. It's my limiting reactant, and then in excess, I have too much N2, so it's my excess reactant. Okay, so really, what the easiest way to do this is to just do 2 problems and figure out which one makes the least. Okay, let me clear this and advance, and we're going to go to the next one. Back. Let's see if I can get it to go. Oh, I'm still in pen mode. Clear section, back. Boom. Boom. All right, there we go. Oh, take a look at this one. So for this one, what we have to do is it's the same thing. So now they're going to give us 2 varieties of this. So they're going to give us 100 grams of this and 100 grams of this stuff right here. And we're going to figure out which one is limiting. So one of these is too much and too little. So what you're going to do is, this is a mass problem this time. You're going to take 100 grams of P4. And since this is in grams, you have to find the molar mass. So I know P is 31, and I know it's times 4. So 31 times 4 is 124 in 1 mole of P4. And then there's 1 mole. Oh, we have to balance it. Shoot, they almost got me. So I'm going to put an 8 here, a 3 here. Let me see. 32. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to do 8 moles of P4 and 8 moles of P4S3. Okay, and then I'm going to do 1 mole and then whatever the molar mass of P4S3 is. Let's see if we can be 31 times 4, so 124, plus 32 times 3, which is 96. So 0, carry on, 2, what is that, 220? So 220 goes up here, okay? So now your math is going to look like this. It's going to be 100 times 8 times 220 divided by 124 times 8. Okay, so everything on top divided by everything on bottom. Okay, and let me see. I might be able to get my, let's do this back. Let me escape this thing real quick. Clear that. Okay, so I'll get my calculator out. See if this will work. Okay, so I don't know if I still have it. I cleared it. Well, at least I have my calculator, so I remember the math. Let's see, it was right here. So it was 100 it ended up being 100 times 3 times 220 divided by 124 times 8. Okay, so that's the math. Okay, so we do 100 times 3 times 220 equals divided by 124 equals divided by 8 equals. Okay, so this one equals 66 grams. Okay, so then we have to do the same one with the other one because we want to find out which one produces the least. Okay, so we would do 100 grams, and then this time we're going to go from here to here. So the molar mass of S8 is 256, so it'd be 32 times 8, so that's 256. And then there's a ratio of 3 moles of S8. Remember, there's a 3 here and an 8 here. And 8 moles of P4S3. And then finally, we would do 1 mole and then 220 grams. Okay, so I'm going to do this real quick. So with my calculator, see if I can punch this in. So it's going to be 100 times 8 times 220 equals divided by 256 equals divided by 3 equals. Okay, so this one is like 229, and this one over here is 66. So my limiting factor is the one that I run out of first or make the least. So P4 is my limiting factor. And then the S is excess, and my total amount made. I can't make this much because, I run out. Okay, so that is how you solve that problem. I probably should do one more just to make sure you guys are good. Okay, so this one's nice because they included the molar masses, so this is handy, and they balanced it. So this is a good one to do. All right, so let's do this real quick. So again, you're going to kill 2 birds, 1 stone. You're going to do both problems. So we're going to go here and here and here and here and find out which one makes the least. Okay, so 32 grams, and then you use the molar mass, 256 grams and 1 mole. Right, then you go to the mole ratio. It's 1 to 4. So the 1 goes down here, the 4 goes up here. So 1 to 4. And then 135 and 1 mole. Okay. So then all the units cancel out, and you would get, let's clear this off, 32 times 4 times 135 equals, divided by 256 equals, and that's 67 grams, 67.5 grams. All right, we'll do the same for this one here too. So we have 71 grams, and look, it's 71 grams right there and 1 mole. And then this time it's 4 to 4. Do you see the ratio? And then again, 135 and 1 mole. Okay, so this time we're going to do our answer. So it would be 71 times 4 times 135 equals, divided by 71 divided by 4 equals 135. Okay, so now we have an option, right? So this one or this one. So we pick the smaller one, so it's this. This does not happen. And then sulfur would be my limiting factor. So my limiting factor is sulfur. The one I have in excess is the one that makes too much. Okay, that's a general thing. We're going to spend a lot of time on this, but this is an important chemistry concept. Not everything, some things run out, and I think that's an important thing. Okay, so let me get here. I'm going to end my show. This is going to be super good. Great way to end my show here. Maybe if I can figure out how to turn it off. Well, we'll start there. And